Just a few minutes ago, Speaker Boehner announced that he will be resigning.
Conservative voters standing to their feet, offering a standing ovation to the news that Speaker John Boehner will resign. Senator Marco Rubio offering that at the Value Voters Summit this morning. Now, for his part, in a statement, the speaker said, quote, "It's my view, however, that prolonged leadership turmoil would do irreparable damage to the institution. To that end, I will resign the speakership and my seat in Congress on October 30th. So, what does all this mean for Congress, conservatives, and the Republican Party? For more, let's welcome in political commentator Michael Reagan, Skyping in from Southern California. And as always, you can follow him on Twitter at Reagan World. Michael, in one sense, this was one of Washington's worst-kept secrets. We heard the rumors for a long time, but are you surprised by the Boehner resignation?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are really surprised. You may hear rumors for a long time, but surprised at the timing of all of this right after, of course, John Boehner got the Pope to come to Washington, speak to the joint session of Congress yesterday. So maybe that's his finest moment. He wanted to, in fact, step down. But with all the cheering going on with conservatives, let me just give you some numbers. There's probably 16 million hardcore conservatives that are out there. We have 300 million people in the United States of America. So conservatives may be cheering today because John Boehner is stepping down. Who's going to replace Boehner? And how long will it take before the cheering, in fact, stops?
Well, your fellow Californian, Majority Leader McCarthy, rumored to be the guy in place, but do you think the conservatives will have another candidate within the House Republican Conference?
Oh, yes, they certainly will have another candidate within the House Republican Conference. There'll be a battle to see who the speaker is going to be. And so you're going to find Kevin McCarthy in the battle for his life if he wants to become, in fact, the Speaker of the House. But, you know, if this is all about shutting down Washington, there's never been a Congress that's won that battle. Every time they closed down government around my father's presidency, my father was able to lower taxes. Every time we've shut down government, we conservatives, during this presidency, the President of the United States wins that battle. So be careful what you wish for, because there's always another day.
You made mention earlier of the fact that Pope Francis spoke yesterday before a joint session of Congress. This morning, there he was addressing the United Nations, criticizing wealth and power. And in your latest article on Newsmax.com, you say the Pope's socialism will crush the poor. Could you explain that?
Well, it really does. I mean, talking about capitalism and coming down on capitalism wasn't for the United States of America. You know, where would the poor be anywhere in the world? We're the biggest giving country in the world. We're the ones who support the Palestinians, not the Saudis, not anybody around the Palestinians support them. We're the ones who are the biggest check writer to the Palestinians. We're the biggest check writer to everybody. When there's a tsunami, what ship was there? The USS Ronald Reagan showed up in Japan to help the people of Japan. You didn't see other people there. You saw the USS Ronald Reagan. You saw the United States be engaged, whether it's a tsunami or whatever it might be. The United States is there. So don't step on our capitalism when, in fact, it's our capitalism that it helps the rest of the world. If you strip our capitalism away, then we're all going to be poor. So bravo to capitalism. Are there some bad guys out there? Absolutely. But for the most part, the United States of America is the country that allows the world, the rest of the world, to be able to survive.
From the papacy to the presidency, or at least the pursuit of the presidency, Donald Trump. We began this segment with Marco Rubio bringing the Value Voters Summit to its collective feet with the news about Boehner. But apparently today at that same meeting, when Marco Rubio made mention of Donald Trump calling him a clown, suddenly boos rained out in that chamber against Donald Trump. You have been skeptical of the Donald's campaign. Where would you assess his campaign at this point?
I was at the debate. He lost that debate by far. As you know, we talked that night. What did I say? Chris Christie, Carly Fiorina, and of course, Marco Rubio won that debate, in fact, going away. But I tweeted yesterday, I'm really sick and tired of hearing Donald Trump take down other people and make this personal. And what I said yesterday in my tweet at Reagan World was this, that if we nominate Donald Trump to be our nominee, he will put the Republican Party on the ash heap of history. I suggest find another candidate.
Strong words from Michael Reagan. Again, you can follow Michael on Twitter at Reagan World. And Michael, we thank you very much for your comments. Now, you just heard Michael Reagan. He continues to be skeptical. Well, it sounds as if he continues to be hostile to the Donald Trump candidacy. Do you agree or disagree? You can send us your comments by getting on the computer, logging in, and going to newsmaxtv.com/comments. Always happy to hear from you, and you'll hear from me again right after this timeout.